Hi, this is John Lee, and today is Wednesday, June 3rd, 2015, and today I am about to take my brand new Toyota Corolla S 2011 out for a spin on this cold, dreary spring morning. And it almost feels like winter, kind of, because it's cold, and it looks like it's about to rain, and, you know, it's June 3rd. It should be summer weather. It should be hot. I should be sweating my butt off instead of wearing this orange jumper jacket. So the weather's been a little strange lately, especially the past couple of days. And I just want to mention that I passed my road test on Monday, but I had taken lessons from the Vaswani Driving Academy, which is hands down the best driving academy in New York City. And I am not exaggerating. Just sit through their 5-hour mandatory driving class, and you'll see why I say they're the best driving school in all of New York. Anyway, where was I? I was saying that, yes, okay, so I had taken my driving lessons with in a Toyota Camry with my instructor Diana, and that whole time we had practiced in beautiful, warm spring weather. You couldn't have asked for nicer road driving conditions. Yet on the day of my road test, which only lasted 10 minutes, from the time I started my test, it started pouring rain, and the instant I finished my test, the rain stopped. It was like Mother Nature was working against me. But I still passed, barely, but yeah, I still passed. And the very next day, or actually the very same day, I started shopping around for a car, and yesterday ended up picking up this Toyota Corolla S, which I'm very happy about. I spent a little bit more than I wanted to, but getting it from the Toyota dealer gave me peace of mind that the car wouldn't break down, that I wouldn't have to spend money on a mechanic in a year or two. So I was willing to spend the extra money knowing that the car would probably be in good condition. And again, I practiced in a Toyota Camry. I ended up choosing a Toyota Corolla, although I was originally shopping for a Camry. But I went with the Corolla because the mileage is better and the handling is better, which is good for me since I live in the city, and you know, I'm driving in and out of local roads and stuff like that. So Corolla seemed like an obvious choice. But they say the Camry, while it doesn't necessarily have better mileage, I think it has more power and it's better on highways. So I thought it was better for me to get the Corolla, but I probably would have been happy with the Camry too. In fact, that's what I practiced with. My instructor recommended it, and the fact that a driving instructor is teaching her students in a Camry was endorsement enough for me to go with a Toyota Camry or Corolla. And she said she never really had to take it to the shop. She's had that car for many years, and all she had to do was maybe an oil change for every 3,000 to 6,000 miles, depending on, I think she went mainly 6,000 miles using synthetic oil. So that was an endorsement enough for me, and that's why I went with Toyota. So here I am sitting here with some really weak, shitty driving skills, and my plan is to drive around as much as possible before I start my new job on June 8th, which is this Monday. It's only 4 or 5 days from now. So wish me luck. I'll probably spend about 4 or 5, anywhere from 4 to 5, maybe even up to 8 hours of driving today. But I don't want to look for driving around 5 o'clock, which is rush hour, because it'll be difficult to find parking around that time. During the day, it's easy to find parking. You find parking all over the place. So yeah, I plan to stop before 5, but who knows, we'll see. So hopefully I don't run anyone over or get into any accidents, and I'll come back more comfortable driving by the end of the day. So I'll report back in just a few seconds after my day is over. Talk to you soon. All right, so I just bought my first batch of groceries from Target, which is a big accomplishment for me, so pat on the back to John Lee. And the reason why I bought groceries at Target today, because normally before I had a car, Target was far enough away from home where the walk was a bit annoying, and I could only carry a handful of things that I bought from Target back home. If it was a little too heavy, since the walk was long enough, my arms started getting really tired, so usually I tended to avoid shopping at Target if at all possible. But now with the car, it was a strange feeling walking through the store, being able to buy anything I wanted, no matter how heavy it was. Because before I would consider, man, am I gonna be able to carry this back, or is it too big, or is it too heavy? So today I just bought whatever I wanted. It was a really nice feeling, loving having a car so far, didn't get into any accidents on my way over, and didn't even feel any panic. It was a pretty smooth ride. So that's phase one of my driving journey so far. I think my next stop will be either Best Buy to pick up a microwave, and I haven't had a microwave in years. I've gone by with just boiling water or cooking over the stovetop or something like that. So I've never used a microwave, never really bought a microwave, never really had a need for one, kinda. Mainly because buying a microwave at a store would have been too much trouble to carry back home. Because I didn't want to buy a small dinky microwave. I wanted the microwave big enough to at least cook a 12-inch pizza that you would buy in the supermarket. So those 12-inch, a microwave that could cook a 12-inch pizza is usually a little too heavy for me, anyway, to carry back home. So that was another reason why I haven't bought a microwave. So it's an interesting feeling now that I have a car that I can consider getting all of these bigger items that I wouldn't have gotten in the past. So hopefully I don't go on a spending spree, but I think a microwave looks like a reasonable purchase, and it's probably the next thing I'm going to buy, likely at Best Buy. So I'm gonna see how that goes. I may or may not buy the microwave. I'm just gonna look at it and consider buying a microwave. I haven't had one for years, so I guess I've gotten by without one, so I may not need one, but it's something to think about. All right, so I'll check back in a couple of seconds and let you know what's going on. All right, so I didn't go to Best Buy. I decided to drop the groceries off first and attempted to parallel park in a very tight space. And let me tell you, for a first-time driver, that was not easy. I must have spent anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, at least it felt like 10 minutes, trying to get this car parked along the curb. Every time I've done parallel parking before, I've had plenty of room, but I forgot this is New York City, and sometimes you have to work with what you got. It was a very tight space. I must have been pulling and just turning my wheel left and right, trying to squeeze in a dozen times, just trying to fit within this tight space. So now I'm about to pull out. I think I'm going to head over to Best Buy, maybe head over to the bank first because I gotta take care of something over there, and then head over to Best Buy, provided I can find parking in the area. So this was an interesting experience, doing my first post-driving license parallel park, and boy, what a challenge that was. Well, I did my second parallel park and I still struggled, even though this time I actually had a lot of space to work with. So I guess I have no excuse. I basically have to work more on my parallel parking, but I did manage to find a nice parking space in the area near Best Buy, so I may take a look and possibly pick up a microwave and maybe spend some time driving around afterwards practicing my parallel parking, because it really needs work. And there are plenty of great opportunities to practice my parallel parking in this area. But already I ran into some crazy Bronx drivers cutting me off without signaling. They were running red lights. I wasn't at risk of getting into an accident though, but just gotta get used to these crazy New York drivers. One of the reasons why I never bothered to get a license in the first place and learn how to drive. Well, it's about, what time is it? I think close to 2 o'clock right now, so I've been driving around since 8:30 this morning. That's a good 5 hours or so. So I wasn't driving the entire time. I was actually going to and from different places. I didn't end up buying the microwave like I thought I might. Maybe another day, but I just didn't feel like pulling the trigger today. And I ended up buying a bunch of suits for work because I've done a lot of clothing shopping in the past couple of weeks, but it was all for fun and it was all play and no work. So I had to, stock up on my wardrobe for work clothes. And there was a sale in the area that I just happened to be in, so I pulled the trigger on 3 suits. They're cheap suits, and they kind of look like cheap suits. So I didn't try to hide the fact that they were cheap suits. One of them I just went with super cheap, and it looks super cheap, but it's kind of cheesy and cool at the same time. So let's see how it plays in the office. Anyway, I think that's all the driving that I'm going to be doing for today, unless something comes up. And I managed to parallel park 3 times. Each time was a battle, but you got to get the bad parking out of the way before you get to the good parking. So I still have a lot of bad parallel parking left in me. I'll be practicing more tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that, all the way up until Monday when I start for work. So I'm just going to try to get as much driving in as possible. Hopefully by the end of the next 4 days, I will be a expert driver. Yeah, right. So thanks for watching. Please click like and or subscribe if you like the video, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much.